Ladies and ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Monday Night
Oh,
Raw
look at that.
review
We're not
edition.
even 5 seconds in and you fuck up already.
Mr. Mac, can we ever get through an opening of the show where we get along?
No, if you keep screwing up like that, then probably not.
Mr. Mac, I am having a very rough day, and I would like to just get
Oh, you're
through
not
this.
the only one.
Mr. Mac, Jimmy didn't schedule my daily visit to the salon. I couldn't get my hair
Oh,
done.
poor you.
I didn't get my Coke. I still don't have my chair. Mr. Mac, I feel under the weather. I, I'm just trying to get through this so I can.
Is that your big announcement? You have a cold?
Mr. Mac, that's not my big announcement, but it is an announcement. I am under the weather, and yet I still come to perform for you, our great subscribers, unlike Mr. Mac, who the minute I took a week off for vacation time, he ditches you and doesn't upload anything for a week.
Oh, well, I apologize, seeing as how I had other projects going on, and I was too busy to upload anything to this damn thing. I thought that was your job.
It was my job, Mr. Mac,
Mr.
but
Oh
when I'm on
so
vacation,
important person.
when the host is on vacation, the co-host takes over the
Are you
hosting
finally
duties.
referring to me as a co-host, are you?
Yes, Mr. Mac, you are my co-host, while I am the host of this channel and of this video. And as the host, I would like to backtrack a minute and welcome everyone to another edition of the JK Report Monday Night Raw review for October 6th, 2014. I am your host, Mr. K, per usual. I'm joined by my co-host and delighted friend and colleague, Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, how are you doing today?
What does K stand for?
It stands for, doesn't matter what it stands for.
Doesn't matter what it stands for, it starts with a D.
Mr. Mac, just tell the fine folks how you're doing.
Well, how does it look like I'm doing?
Your room looks exceptionally bright, Mr. Mac. Your
It
studio looks
does. It
exceptionally bright
does.
as usual.
It does. I've got a light on there in the background. Everything looks brighter.
Did your manager finally hook you up with proper studio lighting?
I don't have a manager.
I
'Cause I don't
sent you
need people to do shit for me.
I sent you referrals for many studio managers who will help you with that kind of production, Mr. Mac. Did you not
I
read
don't
them?
care. No, I don't. No, in fact, I shredded them.
Mr. Mac, you have a very cruel sense of humor.
It's not a cruel sense of humor. It's a sense of independence.
Okay, Mr. Mac. Well, before we get into the juice of this video, we're going to go over the match card real fast. I'm going to pull out my handy-dandy notebook here.
It's not a notebook. That's a phone.
With notes, Mr. Mac.
It's called a notepad app.
Oh, so you're an expert on apps now.
God, if you pride yourself on being so great and so correct once you pronounce it correctly.
It is a notebook on a notebook app, Mr. Mac.
There. Was that so difficult?
It was not difficult, Mr. Mac, and I appreciate you trying to help me.
That's good.
Now, we're going to get to the... Mr. Mac, obviously, since you missed most of the night, we're going to skim through the match card real fast to give our viewers who have missed Monday Night Raw the results for Monday Night Raw. Then we're going to get into with the more interesting part of the show. So here we go. The first match tonight, the Usos...
I normally miss the first 2 hours, so really I'm not missing very much.
You only missed the 2 hours, which means you'll get a replay to sum up the 2 minutes worth anything.
That's what.
So here are your 2 minutes.
For.
So here are your 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. The Usos and Dolph Ziggler defeats Goldust, Stardust, and Cesaro. Bo Dallas defeats Mark Henry. Brie Bella defeats Summer Rae. Jack Swagger defeats Tyson Kidd. El Torito defeats Gator. Now Gator, I don't know what that is. Is that like some kind of extinct animal?
I guess the first match maybe I'll watch back, but nothing else.
I will say this: the Usos and Dolph Ziggler, while it is getting very repetitive, we get into Usos with random partner versus Goldust, Stardust, and random partner, which is typically Cesaro now. while it's getting repetitive, they keep putting on fun matches. It is a definitely match, not match of the night, but it's, well, actually, looking at the rest of this card, it probably is the match of the night.
I fucking love Usos. They impressed the hell out of me in 2013, and this year has been no different.
My only complaint is they keep getting the same matches over and over with almost identical people.
Well, that's all we got for the last half of 2013. We got Daniel Bryan and the Usos against the Shield.
Exactly. And now we're getting Usos versus whoever is the Intercontinental Champion and or the face going against the mid-card champion against Goldust, Stardust, and now pretty much Cesaro.
Well, let's
Have
face
you noticed
it.
that?
Who other tag teams are there for them to face?
That is very true. Have you noticed that Cesaro has basically become a third member of Team Goldust and Stardust?
No, I haven't.
They've teamed together a lot recently. Like, a lot.
Yeah, but just, I mean, think of it this way. Cesaro won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania this year. And what has he done since then? He was with Heyman, sure. But, you know, it's unfortunate to say, but Cesaro was just more proof that not everything Heyman touches turns to gold.
I thought that was Curtis Axel who proved that point.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying Cesaro was another example of it.
And the whole Heyman touches things turn to gold. Let's look at all the Heyman guys that he's had. You have Brock Lesnar. You have CM Punk. You have Curtis Axel, Ryback, and Cesaro.
Lesnar right now is the current WWE champion. CM
Punk is currently the couch champion of Chicago.
CM Punk is currently the resident Chicago ball holder.
Exactly. Curtis Axel is the current. I'm part of a hand cream tag team whole person. Ryback is currently
on the injured list.
And Cesaro is
in limbo right now.
He's in limbo with Goldust and Stardust, which is not a very nice place to be. I heard Stardust gets a little crazy when he's in the box.
I'm just saying now, if they end up putting Cesaro in face paint, I just may laugh.
I'm already laughing. They already put him in a Pat Patterson jackets. I wouldn't put it past them. Moving on, next match, we have Brie Bella defeat Summer Rae, Jack Swagger defeats Tyson Kidd. I know I've already went over this, but I'm starting back to the beginning, so you guys know.
Tyson Kidd was on TV?
Tyson Kidd was on TV. He had a match with Jack Swagger. And they...
Hot damn.
Apparently
so
he's now...
So the real American faced a Canadian.
The Canadian who's in a feud currently with his wife. Because that's going to be so easy to play it on TV. That's not going to scream domestic violence whatsoever.
Yeah, that's going to show the kids saying, hey, kids, if you're having trouble in your partnership,
have a wrestling match.
Or leave it.
Next match, we have Alicia Fox and Paige defeats AJ and Emma. Apparently, AJ didn't give Emma the right phone case, and they didn't exaggerate enough.
I was happy to see Emma. Now, see, those jokes are old.
Mr. Mack, see, I am not pleased to see Emma because I do not condone grand larceny. Because someone in this studio, who I am currently talking to...
Sweet Mother Mary of Jesus molasses. Nobody cares about your grandma-style rocking chair.
I care about it, Mr. Mack.
Well, you don't matter.
I do matter, Mr. Mack.
In whose eyes?
I am the host of the JK Report, and I am the host of this review. I am your boss. I am in charge of everything that happens on this channel.
Did you just say you're my boss? You're greener than goose shit. Say, you're my boss. Okay.
Mr. Mack, I will be taken seriously. I am your host. I am the host of this channel. You will stop that laughing. This is not a humorous situation, Mr. Mack. I am the host. I am
Oh,
your
where's
host.
Tony Atlas when you need him?
Mr. Mac, this is not a humorous situation. I am the host
Well,
of
of course it
JK.
is.
I am your host. I am your boss. I run this whole show.
Last time I checked,
And you will
bosses
show
don't wear clip-ons.
Mr. Mac, you will show me some respect.
I'll show you respect when you take your balls out of your purse.
Childish, degenerate.
Now I know
I can't
what
even finish
Mr.
my
K
sentence, Mr.
stands
Mac.
for. Stands for kiss ass.
Mr. Mac, I don't
Mr.
need
Kiss ass.
to kiss
Has a good
anyone's.
ring to it.
I do not need to kiss anyone's derriere, Mr. Mac. I am
Dairy air.
perfectly fine.
What are you, 60?
Anyway, the next match of the night, you have The Miz defeating Sheamus, and then you have John Cena defeating Orton, Kane, and Seth Rollins via DQ. Now, that's not the biggest story of tonight's Raw, this match card. That's why I kind of want to run through the match card really quick, because the biggest story of tonight
There was a hot dog cart.
comes from the... Miss Mac, did you just focus on the food all night? You saw the hot dog cart and you just screamed, I want a hot dog?
What's wrong with that? You have a long-ass day, you want something to chew on. You want some food. You want something to eat.
Mr. Mac, I'll make sure that catering caters to your whim of hot dogs from here on out.
Well, that's good.
I will get Jimmy right on it. I will get Jimmy right on it. Catering here in the studio will have hot dogs. But the biggest story of tonight comes from probably the segment no one gave 5 fucks about. Because I didn't give any 5 fucks about it. Rusev and Big Show. Now, for those who weren't aware, because they don't watch SmackDown, which I wasn't aware until tonight, apparently Big Show and Rusev's match was called off because they actually remembered, hey, when you mess with a foreign flag, you get suspended. So they actually went through with kayfabe and suspended him until he apologized and had to go to sensitive, some kind of sensitive crap. This doesn't matter. So basically, Rusev comes out.
It just proves that the society of today is way too damn sensitive.
Well, that's a fact, but WWE kept trying to push that it was an international incident. WWE, just because you offend Frank.
International incident? He pulled a flag down. How is that an incident?
Well, here's the thing, WWE, just because you offend Frank from Catering, who just happens to be Russian, does not make it an international incident. I hope you were aware of that situation.
You know what? I find it funny, though. No. Just one thing. I find it funny. Now, I know this is all in kayfabe, right? I know this is all story, whatnot. You know, they'll suspend Big Show for pulling down a flag. But yet Alberto Del Rio will defend his race. Now, albeit it was in a physical matter by slapping the social media dude, but he slaps him and he gets fired. I just find that funny.
Let's also not forget the fact of all the horrific things, Mr.
I'm not the biggest Del Rio fan, but you know, I just want to point that out.
And if we're going to be tactical, fast kayfabe and flags, have to go. Let's not forget what Mr. Michaels did to the Canadian flag.
HBK
times.
Rubbed the Canadian flag in his crotch area and shoved it up his nose. Like,
if that's not a disrespect to the flag and create an international incident, I'm not sure what quite will.
Exactly.
But the biggest part of the Tonight Show, I'm trying to get to this point. We saw a return of a electrifying superstar, and Mr. Mack, as a fan of this man, would you like to do the honors of announcing his return?
Well, right as I was tuning into Raw, I saw Rusev and Lana in the ring, and of course I'm figuring, all right, this is just another Rusev anti-American promo, and I hear he's trying to call out Big Show, so of course I didn't know that Big Show was suspended until, just now. Then I hear Rock's music, and it actually took me a second to recognize the song, because I'm thinking, wait a minute, is this a botch? Is this is this planned? But no, there he was, The Rock. comes out on stage, and I will say this right now. Even though the product is very lackluster, now we can all agree the product is not the best right now. What you have to admit is that WWE, they can pull surprises from out of their sleeve at any given moment. Why they do not do this more often, especially at a time where their competition is the biggest right now of football, I don't understand. But, again, I guess that would, ruin the allure of what a surprise is supposed to be.
If not use surprise like this, at least use different booking strategies. Before we came to record this video, I was going over the match card with Mr. Mack here, and I realized something very astonishing. This match card is almost a carbon copy of last week's, right down to the positioning of the matches. But as far as the thing goes with Mr. Johnson, as anyone who knows me, I am not the biggest Mr. Johnson fan. I have had my issues with him in the past, and he has had his issues with me in the past, via blocking me on Twitter. Now, one thing I rarely do is give him credit. I really do it because I don't see much credit to give him besides the fact that he is a very talented individual with extraordinary talents.
A very talented individual with extraordinary talents.
Thank you, Mr. Mack, for pointing that out. He's an extraordinary person with extraordinary talent. Does that sound better, Mr. Mack?
It does. As long as you're not using the same word twice.
Now, I have been his biggest critic since 7 years ago on a situation that I will not disclose. But his last two appearances, I missed his last one because I was not aware of it until after it happened at WrestleMania 30. And then this one, I will have to give credit where credit is due. He has appeared on WWE television, not really television count WrestleMania 30, but on a WWE product twice now in a row, unadvertised, and when he has absolutely nothing to promote. Obviously, if you think I'm just being stupid or a typical Dwayne hater, check all the other times he's been on TV. He's always had something to promote. He's always been. They advertise his birthday 3 weeks in advance. They advertise him for the Rumble 6 months in advance. He's never on TV and not advertised for it. And there was nothing but tonight. He just shows up. And he actually gets physical. And he doesn't use his corny catchphrases that he's been using since 1997. So, that got me to thinking.
He didn't tear
Mr.
anything.
Johnson, exactly. He didn't tear anything off the bone. Mr. Johnson, I am willing to forgive you for blocking me on Twitter. And I'm willing to turn a corner in our relationship.
You make it seem like you know the guy.
I am very personal with the man. He personally blocked me on Twitter, and I have personally outed him as the. I don't know the word to use right now because I'm trying to be nice. Phony. There's a nice word to use. Phony. That he was. But he's trying to redeem himself, and I respect that. So, Mr. Johnson, I am willing to move on.
I'm gonna be brutally
now, for you,
honest
for those
here.
who don't,
I'm gonna be brutally honest here. That statement probably just made us lose about a dozen subscribers.
it's very true. And for those who don't know why this is a big deal, I don't blame you because you don't know a lot of things I've done or said. Mr. Mack, however, does, and a select few of our viewers will know, so I had to make that little announcement for those who do know. For those who don't know, I highly recommend getting to know me, and you would know why that's a big deal. Now, Mr. Mack, do you have anything you would like to say about Mr. Johnson's return?
I loved it. It was a nice surprise. Apparently, from the sound of how Raw was going before uh, Rock showed up, apparently it wasn't going very great. So it was nice to see him on TV again. Uh, I love Rock, always will. He's always been one of my personal favorites, in my opinion. And I may or may not get shit for this, but personally, I think he's the best mic work. I personally think he's the best mic worker that there has ever been. And now, like, of course, you have your Flairs, you have your Triple H's, you have your Austins, but I think Rock will probably always be number one for me.
Now that we've wrapped that part of it, we're going to get to the last part of it, where we had John Cena, Dean Ambrose. Well, it was John Cena and Seth Rollins and Kane and Orton in a 3-on-1 handicap match. But it was supposed to be a 3-on-2 until Dean Ambrose went to get a hot dog from Coney Island. Which, by the way, is the best product placement they've ever done in their existence. The only thing I want to talk about this, the only thing that really came out of this, besides the fact that we've gotten the same crap basically 3 weeks in a row now. Now I get you say, oh, but they're all different matches. Okay, 3 weeks ago we got Dean Ambrose versus Kane, ends in DQ. Orton and Cena, ends in DQ. Following week, Ambrose Cena versus Orton Kane, ends in DQ. Tonight, Cena versus the Authority and Rollins.
WWE is secretly plugging Dairy Queen, but we just don't know that.
Exactly. They want you to go to DQ and get a Blizzard and some delicious ice cream. I highly recommend it as well.
True story.
So besides that, one thing did come up productively from the situation. We finally got a match announced for Hell in a Cell. That is 2 Raws away, which will be Dean Ambrose versus John Cena. Winner faces Rollins in the Hell in a Cell.
I am somewhat looking forward to it. I mean, probably most people will agree with me when I say this, but of course, I would love it if Ambrose won that one, and we got Ambrose and Rollins inside the cell, because at this point, it is a match that is worthy enough to go inside Hell in a Cell. But I will have to say this though: when Stephanie said, and of course the old, line whenever the Cell match is mentioned or whenever the pay-per-view comes up, either Ambrose or Cena will go straight to hell. Now, judging by the way the Cell has been used in the past couple of years, Cena or Ambrose will be going straight to Candyland.
Or in Dean Ambrose's case, Coney Island land. Now,
Island Land?
Island Land is a place. Don't judge me.
Right.
Now, of course, you said Dean Ambrose and Rollins would make sense in the Cell. However, this leaves WWE in a very tough spot because, obviously, with this announcement, Lesnar will not be partaking in the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. So, obviously, they need to keep Cena looking decently strong when Lesnar decides to reappear. But then put in the case of, why would I want to see Rollins and Cena in a Cell? Oh, gee, Rollins made him lose by DQ. Rollins has done that now 3 weeks in a row. I think the money match is Ambrose and Rollins, but I have a feeling we're going to get Cena and Rollins.
Which doesn't make any fucking sense, because Cena was not in the Shield.
If Cena has to have a Cell match...
And honestly, like, the only gripe that Cena has with Rollins is, oh, you screwed me out of the title.
If Cena had a Hell in a Cell match with everybody who has made him lose a title match via DQ, He would literally have a cell match with almost everybody who's ever been a heel.
Mm-hmm.
And the sad thing is, I'm barely exaggerating when I make that statement. So the money match is with Rollins and Ambrose, but the real money match would probably be Ambrose Cena versus Rollins if they somehow swing a triple threat match. I think there's money in that match as well. Now, Mr. Mack, is there anything else about Raw that has caught your attention that you would like to talk about before we wrap this up?
Nothing that I can think of.
The only thing I can think of is, ladies and gentlemen, if you go into a show to promote breast cancer awareness, and you're a guest on that show, and you were told to talk about that, it is a terrible, terrible idea to dance with bunnies and possibly homosexual pirates while drinking your wine. That you should probably avoid doing that. I would highly recommend it. But we're going to move on from that note. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another Monday Night Raw review here on the JK Report. Go back and listen to our other watch whatever you like to do.
I'm just going to say they're not listening, they're also watching it too.
You don't know that. Some people might open the video up and lay the tab down. And they're not physically watching us. They're listening to us. Mr. Mac. But whatever your preference is, make sure you hit the subscribe button somewhere around this box of mine. Hit the thumbs up button. Go watch our previous Monday Night Raw reviews. Watch our Night of Champions review. Watch our career breakdown of Randy Orton and or John Cena. Then watch our WWE Fave 5s. We have not pushed out a Fave 5 in a while or a breakdown. We might do that sometime this week, or we might upload a different video. Either way, check out our other videos. We do things randomly. We have no schedule because Mr. Mac is too busy doing whatever Mr. Mac does to fit a schedule.
I'm sorry if I have other projects going.
Mr. Mac, we agreed on a schedule when we started to do this channel, and you bypassed all those schedules.
I don't do schedules.
Mr. Mac, we will be reviewing Hog Wild next week. Watch it.
The hell is that?
You should know.
No.
So watch it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mr. K. You can follow me on Twitter at ReadyK13. You can find me on Instagram at ReadyK13. He is Mr. Mac. You can find him on Twitter at Jamie Lee Mac, or follow him on Instagram as well at Jamie Lee Mac. You can also follow the channel, the YouTube channel on Twitter at the JK Report, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/the JK Report. Hit the subscribe button to watch our other videos. Am I missing anything, Mr. Mac? I feel like I'm missing something.
No, I think you've hit every nail on the head so far.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mac. And I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a comment in the comment section, not the description.
They're good for you. You got it right this time. I'll let Jimmy know that he needs to give you a gold star.
I'm only stalling because I feel like I'm forgetting something, Mr. Mac. Am I forgetting to say something?
Have you mentioned your Twitter?
I think I had mentioned my Twitter. I swear I'm forgetting something.
No,
I got it.
You've hit it now on the head.
I think I know what I forgot, Mr. Mac. I think I know what I forgot. Our very own Mr. Mac recently did a radio show with a friend of the channel's. You can follow him and I believe listen to that show on archive somewhere by following at WrestleRant or going to nextEraWrestling.weebly.com, and I think it's somewhere on there. I'm not familiar with how he works.
Every Tuesday night. WrestleRant Radio every Tuesday night.
If you want to listen to just a specifically one with our very own Mr. Mac, I believe you can tweet at WrestleRant asking for a link. I'm pretty sure he might have one somewhere.
And didn't you have a spectacular announcement that you wanted to get to?
Mr. Mac, I already got to that when I made amends with Dwayne Johnson. That should be spectacular.
That was your big announcement?
That was my big announcement, Mr. Mac. That was my big announcement. Problem? Is there a problem?
Good night, everybody.
Anyway, I'm Mr. K. He's Jamie Lee. He's Mr. Mac / Jamie Lee Mac. It's been wonderful talking to you, and I apologize for this extended thing. I am having an off week. I would like to personally apologize. I'm feeling under the weather again.
Just hit end,
Mr.
damn it.
Mr. Mac, I'm trying to connect with our viewers here and
Oh my
tell them.
God.
I'm trying to interact with them and come to them at a human level of decency and telling them what's wrong with me because my life is so impactful. Everyone should know what's happening. Mr. Mac, do you
Your
understand
life,
what I'm saying about right now?
your life has a cold.
Yes, a very dangerous cold, Mr. Mac. That is, see, I can't even spit out sentences right now. It's debilitating. See, I can't even spit out words right now. It's so. Anyway, thank you for listening slash watching slash anything else. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe. I'm Mr. K. He's Mr. Mac. Mr. Mac, say goodbye.
Farewell, everybody.